Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live, brought to you by PrizePicks. Sign up today with PrizePicks and the code Leading Off when you do. I'm Joey P. Joe Pisapia. That, of course, is the Welsh. The hair incredibly high today. I see you're rocking your 49ers jersey because today is the NFL draft. So this is an MLB show, but don't forget, tonight on our regular old Fantasy Pros channel, I will be hosting live from 7 to whenever I can stop talking about the NFL draft, which is probably never. But at some point, they'll shut it down. We want you to join us, watch the draft, put us on another screen, put us on your phone. We're going to break down all the picks for you from fantasy. We're going to break down all the picks from wagering, all that good stuff. So please join us tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. Our coverage is going to begin before the NFL draft. Welsh, I know it's a baseball show, but obviously you're excited for the draft, even though you have no picks tonight.
Well, I mean, a misnomer about me would be that I'm only baseball. I've only been doing football coverage as well since I started in the fantasy industry. I'm just much more prominent in baseball and stuff, but I love me some football. Love me some 49ers who will not be partaking today. I have a trivia question for you.
Oh, okay, let's go.
What first-round NFL player's brother made his major league debut this year?
Oh, that's interesting. A major league player who made his debut, whose brother plays in the NFL. Can you give me a team or no hints for me?
NL. So this player will be drafted in the first round tonight. His brother made his major league debut only like a week or so ago.
Oh, wow. I somehow missed this, but this is fantastic. Who is it?
It is Jackson Njigba, Cannon Njigba, because Cannon Smith Njigba is his brother.
Right.
So there you go. The brothers. I actually saw his brother during an AFL game a couple years ago. But yes, Cannon Smith Njigba with the Pirates made his debut, and his brother will be potentially the first wide receiver taken.
Potentially. More on my thoughts on that on the other show. This is baseball time, so let's get after it. And we're going to start with Welsh getting a home run call. Yay for Welsh. Look at you. I told you. You know, we had to go back to Fernando Tatis, who, by the way, I saw a clip of Fernando Tatis playing in the minor leagues where people were chanting that you did steroids and he was dancing to the chant. Did you see this yet? I saw it on the Instagram.
No, that was in Chicago.
Oh, was it Chicago? I thought it was in the minor leagues.
Those are Cubs fans. Those are Cubs fans. And he was just
hilarious. I loved it. I mean, good for you. Good for you, Fernando. And I'm glad that Welsh, you got another home run call. That's great. Bad news, though. I hate starting the show with bad news, but this is bad news. It's bad news for my Seattle Mariners shares. It's bad news for fantasy people who have managers who have Robbie Ray, who's going to undergo season-ending left flexor tendon, not tender. I want chicken after the show. That's why I said that. But tendon surgery. Welsh, look, this is a big blow. Robbie Ray, for whatever you think of Robbie Ray, I know he was polarizing. Some fantasy experts really like him. Others do not. He was an incredible source of strikeouts for the last, 6-7 years.
Sure.
So this is a big blow to this rotation. Where do fantasy managers go from here? And where do the Seattle Mariners go from here too? Because they can't keep running flexing out there. They need to go find somebody else in this rotation.
Well, I think fantasy owners hopefully you have a lot of good options. I mean, Tanner Bibee was phenomenal. We'll talk about him. You've got Taj Bradley. You've got some of the guys. Taj Bradley's situation is a little bit muddier than it was even yesterday, by the way, because we kind of found out his situation. But there's a lot of good rookie starting pitchers that have kind of been floating around. So that's where I would say, if Tanner Bibee is out there, that's the guy. That would be the one, but probably too late. As far as what the team does, they've got a whole crew of pitchers. They literally have what could be a future staff at AA right now. The problem, they all kind of stink. Emerson Hancock, Bryce Miller, Taylor Dollard, Brian Wu is someone who has been pushing up a little bit, played in the AFL. That's a guy. So my thought is at some point they're going to look at trading. I just don't think it's going to be anytime soon. I think they're going to put flexing out there until they can't, like some teams. And then hopefully one of those guys will have popped up. If not, maybe the market will have opened up. And then I could totally see the Mariners making a big splash. I just don't think they would go and get some middle line pitcher. That's flexing. I don't know why they would go. They're going
to go for somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to think of who might fit that bill of a team that's going to be out relatively soon, because I think you want to do this sooner than later. If you're the Mariners,
I've been theorizing you could look at the Reds, Graham Ashcraft, or I just don't think Lodolo would be available. But yeah, I mean, you have to start going down the list. So White Sox have been getting out of it. How far is too far for them? Cardinals are going to get back into it. So Washington.
No, Cardinals are not going to be the place. The White Sox is an interesting one. I mean, maybe at some point you just break up the band here with the way that's been going for them. That's certainly one that could be. I'm trying to think of some other. It might be some guys too, where you see some teams that, look, some of these lower market teams. Obviously, it behooves them not to move these guys. The sooner they move them, the more they get prospect wise back.
But see, like that's the problem with this whole situation. When you start to play this, if like you're a Mariners fan, there's just nothing to do right now because everyone is kind of in it. The bad teams are playing up a little bit. Here's one that just popped in my head. Eduardo Rodriguez with the Tigers seems like
that's a perfect
maybe one
guy.
of the most coveted guys you could probably.
That would be the absolute perfect guy. You nailed it, Welsh. It's definitely Rodriguez. What's the Taj Bradley extracurricular stuff?
Okay, so
I might have missed this. What do you know? What does this MLB insider Chris Welsh know that I don't?
No, it's just like doing a little bit more research. So maybe everybody knew this, and I'll totally acknowledge I just might be the dummy here. So when they said like, hey, Taj has got to, get on the 5-day schedule, it's just like, what does that mean? Like, what are you talking about?
I thought that was
I didn't understand that. Well, that made sense. They sent him down. He's going to start multiple games on a 5-day schedule. Like they're going to send him down. He will not be back up for what is presumably probably 2 weeks because they want him to make multiple starts on the 5-day schedule in the minors, which is asinine. That's crazy.
I don't, you know what? That ain't going to happen. I'm calling it right now.
That's what they said. That
might be what the organization wants, but they lose a couple games. Next thing you know, the manager turns around and says, no, we got to get this kid back up here. I'm not buying that for a second. No, I'm sure that's what the organization is thinking, but I don't know if they're going to go ahead and execute that.
Because it never comprehended to me. I couldn't understand okay, well, you got to get on a 5-day schedule. We'll just do that. Go and just have him do it. But they literally, they want to see how he is. They want to see how he pitches. And this also might align to the other really horrific news we're going to talk about as far as prospects go, where there might be tiny little days of manipulation that are still going on, because I know we're going to talk about Jordan Walker here.
That if it's a business thing, then I get it. Like if there's some sort of manipulation with the business, then I understand how that goes. Speaking of manipulation, yesterday, I hope you listened to the parlay of the day because we nailed it here. Hunter Brown recorded 8 strikeouts, career high, 7 shutout innings. He was great. Beat the Rays. We got the W. We got the strikeout over. Ooh-wee, good times. So that made some cash yesterday. Tanner Bibee pitched 5 2/3 innings, 1 run ball, struck out 8 in his win. I saw highlights, but you actually watched a little bit more of this. Yeah. So take me through the Bibee start here, Welsh.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. It was so crazy too. I'm completely enamored. There was this thing last night. I don't know if you saw it. Zach Gallen threw this pitch to Vinny Pasquantino. And he's like, it's the craziest pitch I've ever seen. Was it a changeup? Was it a cutter? Everyone's kind of talking about it. Pitching Ninja put it out there. It's just wild pitch.
It's a
well, it could be our slutter. It might be, as a matter of fact.
Look, I mean, not everything could be a slutter, but
well, it was so nasty. Everybody in it, like Vinny swung, it hit the ump. The catcher couldn't catch. It was this awesome gift. My point is like that pitch had me enamored. Watching Tanner Bibee and this slider that he threw, I don't remember seeing it like this. It was like a 12-6 slider that it looked curvy at times. Sometimes it broke. He threw it more than his 4-seam fastball, which was crazy. He had 44% slider usage. He had a 39% swinging or whiff rate on it. And he overall had a 33% CSW. Also, guys were just staring at it. 13 called strikes on the slider. He was just pinpointing it across the zone. Really great command pitcher. That slider is going to give people fits. He's going to have to implement his changeup more. But, if he was sitting out there and you got burned in some pitching aspect, he's such a great pickup right now. And they are talking out of both sides of their mouth where they said we're going to keep him around a couple days, see what happens. And then the other side is he's going to stay in the rotation. I think it's decently likely he stays in the rotation, but what the hell do we know with how everyone's managing their prospects right now?
Well, let's talk about it. What do you think when you look at the Guardians rotation right now? Where do you think, I should say, who gets bumped from that rotation?
Well, I mean, I think the only assurances are you got Bieber. Savali will take it when he comes back, and then McKenzie's going to come back in a month. So I think you have realistically 2 open spots, and I think that should go to Bibee and Logan Allen because you get another lefty in the lineup. So I think that's the play. It's always a possibility they do something stupid because all these teams plenty do. They could put Plesac back in the rotation or whatever. I think that's the play, but they've got some time with Savali and McKenzie back. And Bibee is the player I think that can hold the longest. I just think he is a complemented command pitcher with an insanely good breaking pitch that keeps hitters off balance. And it's like, I was saying this last night on CBS, I want to see the Taj Bradley curveball and the Bibee slider. I just want to see gifts of them back to back, because those are two just the nastiest rookie pitches I've seen all year.
It got me thinking. You still nailed that Eduardo Rodriguez thing so well that if I was somebody being proactive looking for pitching, go make a trade for this guy now before those rumors start swirling. I could not agree more. That's the perfect dude. Rodriguez is the perfect guy to go move on to Seattle. And if you have him in fantasy and he ends up on a better team than Detroit, it's just a much better scenario, much better run support across the board. That's definitely the way to go there. All right, let's continue on with more depressing news here. Jordan Walker was sent down yesterday. Welsh, surprising, I don't know, but frustrating nonetheless. Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's stupid. It's when's the last time you saw like a guy hitting 274 who made the opening roster as, the big face? He's a big face of this team, big young guy, rookie of the year candidate, and they sent him down. It's old baseball bull crap with Marmol being like, well, I just can't find a spot for him anymore because of Nolan Gorman. Here are the two big things that came out of this. He said in an interview, Nolan Gorman's the reason for this because they can't put him at DH because Nolan Gorman's been playing so well. That's crazy because you had him come up at the very beginning of the year. The other side of this, we found out, I was reading an article on The Athletic, is that they can still manipulate some service time. If he is down in the minors for 20 days, he will not be able to accrue a full season, which gives them another year of eligibility, as long as he also doesn't finish in the top 2 of rookie of the year. So if they keep him down for 21 days,
that'll kind of do the job.
And it probably is.
Because he's going to fall behind Outman. He's going to fall behind Corbin Carroll. So yeah.
Well, and James Outman and Carroll are both 2-1, and the next closest is Senga at 10-1. So if it's 20 to 21 days and he doesn't finish in the top 2, they own another year of service on him. He could come back up and it can get Super 2 and stuff like that if he comes back in about 2 weeks. But that seems like the play. Like, how do you send a 274 guy down? His defense kind of stunk, sure, but I think it's crazy.
Not there for his defense. Come on, everybody. He's there to hit baseballs, and I'm tired of these slap nut outfilders for the Cardinals clogging up space for good hitters like Jordan Walker. I'm over it.
Ooh, you're kind of a wrestling promo. You're like, hey, you're
I am.
Dylan
All right, let's get to some of the peanuts and the Cracker Jacks in the chat. Echo Beast was offered Arenado for Alek Manoah in redraft head-to-head category league, except if you got enough pitching to do this move, you do it. Arenado is the better asset, in my opinion. But here's the only thing. It is a head-to-head league. So if your pitching is thin, as tempting as this is, I would say no. It's really a roster question at the end of the day. Welsh, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I could do it. I'm not huge on Manoah right now, so I think this is something I could swing. But like what your roster looks like is probably my best answer. If you had horrific third and horrific corner and stuff, and you're great at outfield, sure, I'd jump on it. If it's inverse, I don't know.
Here's one from Alfredo Rodriguez. Zach Gallen giving Strider a run for his Cy Young money. He is. And who was our dark horse Cy Young candidate? I'm trying to remember what. Oh, right. It was Zach Gallen. That's who it was.
Yours. Credit to you. That was yours.
I say we. It's the Royal We. It's ours. It's our show. It's us, the Royal We. Except when you hit a home run, call right, then it's all you.
And then I come in late at night and I put at the very top.
You do.
A home run.
Oh, when Welsh is good, boy, oh boy, everybody knows about it. He's up till 2 a.m. in the show sheet. Otherwise, he shows up at 10 to noon, starting to look in there and see what's going on there. Let's get to some of the injuries, and there was a lot of them. So Kenta Maeda gave up 10 runs, and then he exited. He's going to undergo the MRI with the Yankees with the with the elbow soreness. Terrible against the Yankees yesterday. Just a horrendous start for him.
Oh, is that Joey or me? I don't know.
Exited with an injury again. He has not been healthy. We know that. The Yankees' Aaron Judge had a problem sliding. He hurt his hand. He told reporters afterwards he's all good. X-rays also for our boy Josh Young, who's been terrific for the Rangers. They came back negative, so that's good. He had got hit by a pitch. And then Javier Baez got hit on the hand with a pitch, but it probably helped raise his batting average. All right, here's something to piss me off, Welsh. Me off. The Atlanta Braves home run celebration with the big hat. Everybody knows I love the big hat. I bought D-Bro a big hat last year during football season because I thought it was the greatest thing ever. And if anybody could pull off the big hat, it was Derek Brown. MLB is saying, no, you can't wear the big hat. And I mean, why? What's the big deal? The guys come in the dugout. You can wear a samurai helmet, but you can't wear the big hat. I mean, I know
Did
it's
you read?
licensing.
Yeah, it was a
Crap.
New Era thing. It wasn't the Braves' decision. New
Come
Era
on.
said, we want you to stop doing this, which is
Suck it,
crazy.
New
dumb.
Era. New
Yeah.
Era, you can suck it. This is fun. Okay? It's fun. It's good for baseball. The big hat's hilarious. Or you know what? Go make your own big hat. They probably can't because they probably don't have the intellectual property to do it, but it pissed me right off. Just pissed me right off. Here's something amazing, though. Ronald Acuna recorded his MLB leading 13 stolen base Tuesday, the 120th stolen base of his career and his 538th game. Acuna also has 123 homers and is thus the fastest player in Major League history to reach 120 homers and steals. Previously fastest was Eric Davis in 559 games. Eric Davis was a great player. I met Eric Davis once when I was in college in a hotel. They were playing the Phillies. I think he was playing with the Orioles at the time, and he was a heck of a nice guy. It's funny, like he actually initiated a conversation with me. I was just some dude in an elevator. I was like, "Oh my god, it's Eric Davis,
dude!"
It's
It's
like,
so
"Hey man, how's
funny
it
you
going?"
say that.
I was like,
Well,
"That's
Eric
so cool."
Davis works with the Reds out here. I see him all the time on the
He's
back.
the nicest guy.
One of the first moments I ever saw him was during the AFL, and it was a bunch of us, and Paul Sporer was there, and we're like, "Hey, look, there's Eric Davis." And Sporer went over there to try to get him an agreement to be an MLB The Show, to be one of the like character cards in MLB. He's like, "You should do this." Eric Davis is a very nice guy, very talkative, and he roams around in a golf cart wherever he goes. I've seen him on the Dodgers and the Reds on the backfields. He's an interesting.
He was a great player. I mean, people forget him and Darryl Strawberry played on the same high school team together. Could you imagine trying to play that high school? Yeah, those two guys came up together in South Central Los Angeles. They were playing on the same team together.
Who's the most famous person to come out of your high school?
That's a good question. Probably me, I think, at the end of the day.
Little Joey's okay.
What can I say?
No
it
athlete?
Just is. Arthur Sikowski, who played quarterback at Illinois. But you know, that didn't go very well. He played at a lot of other schools too. He was the guy in that famous 10 overtimes a couple years ago where nobody could score, them in Penn State. If you recall that crazy game.
Yeah.
And then eventually he got hurt in like the 9th overtime or whatever it was.
This is going to be this question is going to break the chat too, by the way, because we all have this type of stuff. Because
I said facetiously me, but I mean, I don't know now. Now
it might be. It might be. I have two.
Scary.
Mark Andrews, tight end with the Ravens, or there's a guy. This is a famous ITL thing. It's this actor named Brent Bailey. You've never heard of him, but you've seen him in every single commercial that exists, and he is the spokesman for the Shell gas. He's the face on there, and we have a long going bit. Me and Bob.
But if I don't know his name, how famous is he?
Well, you look
People
him
know
up.
Joey P.
He was in my face. He was my actual class. Mark Andrews was not, but I was just curious.
All right. Well,
who are you guys? Put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat. I want to see this. Who's the most famous person you went to high school with? I like this. And this is why you join us live for the show at MLB Fantasy Pros. One last note on Eric Davis. I was always hoping that Byron Buxton would turn into Eric Davis, and it never happened. Like that was my comp for him. Like if everything breaks right, he could be that guy. Eric Davis was such a good player. People don't realize. All right. Joe's Tough Guy segment. Drew Maggi yesterday made his debut for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He struck out, but he's getting a start today, Welsh.
Very cool.
Very cool. So he, again, this is just a fun story. I don't even know why we're all following this. I don't know. We're big saps, but good for you, Drew. Go out there. Go get him. I hope he gets a hit today.
I thought it was so cool that like everyone acknowledged it, because I feel like just things sometimes in baseball can just kind of float by and whatever. But like he got a standing ovation, and like the teams and the crowd and everyone. I just thought that was cool. It's like this is just like a 33-year-old dude who never made it and is there, and he's getting like this cheering of his life. That was actually, it's nice to see something like nice happen, especially in sports like that. Sometimes.
Brian Fouts went to high school with Rosario Dawson. So there you go. That's a famous person. Tom Harry Carey. I don't know about that.
Well, from his, because there's a difference. Like the Brent Bailey one, we went to the same time, but then there's also who's the most famous person to come out of your high school.
Let's see, Freddie Couples, or even out of your high school. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. I'm sure there's somebody else. It's funny too because my high schools merged in my town in Old Bridge, New Jersey. I believe one of the high schools. You remember Sunny from WWE? She went.
I do.
I bet you do. I bet you
doesn't Sonny have a famous story with New Jack? Isn't that New Jack story about Sonny?
I don't know. No, because I know every wrestling story, and I have not heard that one. Girl in my high school briefly slept with Billy Bob Thornton for a while. I don't think that counts, Wonky. I don't know if that counts. That's a funny one here. And like Mark saying Chris Mullen. There you go. So obviously
I saw a
Mark's
couple
in that
Chris
New York
Mullen.
area.
Saw a couple Chris Mullins.
Everybody went to school with Chris Mullen. He went to
Apparently.
5,000 schools. All right, let's get to the 3 up, 3 down. Zach Gallen, 12 strikeouts. Incredible. Put money on. I don't even know what his number is. Well, she might want to check it. What's his Cy Young number today? Because I've already made 2 investments. I might have to make another one. Paul Goldschmidt went 4 for 5 with 2 home runs, of course, the day after I picked him.
Oh, Gallen.
So way to go, Goldschmidt. You jerk. Mackenzie Gore, 10 strikeouts. So, man, the Mets getting pounded by the Nats 2 days in a row. I didn't think it would happen 2 days in a row, but I imagine the Mets come out on top today. 3 down. Michael Kopech, boo. 7 ERA now. 4 earned in 5 innings.
My team total, Toronto team total through the first 5, smacked yesterday because we picked on Kopech. Pick on Kopech when you can.
Oh, man, he has not become the guy that they hoped he would. Kenta Maeda, where he talked about 10 earned runs. We hope he's okay health-wise because that was a bad outing. Something's wrong. So it looks like the Twins are going to be down a starter. Medina for the A's, 7 earned, 2 homers. He's got a 12 ERA. Like all other Yankee prospects, overrated for the most part. There you go. I said it most of the time. You know what's not overrated? PrizePicks. That's right. Up to 100% deposit match, up to $100 when you invest in PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com or just download the app and use that promo code leading off when you do, so you get the instant deposit match. It's all about the instant deposit match. Welsh, what do you have for the people today? Pick some prizes.
All right, dude, by the way, yesterday I was a half of a point away from Adley from smacking that because my no run first inning hit, my Bo Bichette, obviously. Bo Bichette was very great yesterday, and Adley 2 walks and a run, and it killed. So today, they're actually giving a couple little discounts if you go and check out at PrizePicks. They got their fun little, I think it's like a Taco Tuesday thing, but I think it's in light of the NFL draft. And they're knocking down multiple Ks. So if you want Shohei Ohtani, you can get him for 1 strikeout less. I'm going to take the Garrett Cole for 1 strikeout less. So instead of 7.5, I can get him at 6.5 against the Rangers. So yes, please. I'm going to go with that. I am all on Mike Trout today. So this is going to lead into everything we're going to, I'm going to do. Mike Trout total bases, 1.5. He has been killing lefties. You've got Spears today. So I am all on Mike Trout and Xander Bogaerts. Hits, runs, and RBI 1.5 against Hayden Wesneski today. Those are my 3. I'm playing 20 to 100. Going to cash a PrizePicks today. I feel it.
Here's a famous person from Old Bridge High School. Phil Ivey went there for a year, apparently.
That's huge. I love Phil Ivey. One of the best poker players of all time.
One of the best poker players. I still say I'm more famous. I'm on TV every single week the last 4 years. I'm just saying, I'm on Amazon Prime. This face is on Amazon Prime every single week now. I mean, just saying.
Hey, Mayor, let's run a poll. Who's more famous?
Who's more famous, Phil Ivey?
Yeah, people might not know Phil Ivey, so Joe actually might win that.
I was going to say, I'm definitely going to win on this poll here. But I mean, I think poker's kind of niche a little bit. Football is far less niche. I have a best-selling book series. I don't know.
Just saying, you're right about poker, but like Daniel Negreanu, Phil Hellmuth, Phil Ivey.
You know them because you're a poker guy. I know them because I like poker. I'm just saying, I don't think
I guess. They kind of transcend a little bit. Like maybe Phil Ivey doesn't. Negreanu and Hellmuth do, but
I don't think anyone knows who those people are for the most part.
Oh, sorry. You guys know who Daniel Negreanu
is. I don't. Unless you were into that poker phase of the mid and the late 90s, I don't think you have any idea. Julio Urias, I'm going with the over 5.5 pitcher strikeouts on PrizePicks. Ohtani, 8.5 pitcher strikeouts. I'm going the under. I know it's the A's. I know everybody's just like going crazy today, and I know he dominates the A's, but I think 8.5 is just a big number. I expect him to get 7 or 8, but over 8, again, you look at the game log so far, just don't know. Ryan Mountcastle, hitter points for fantasy 7. I'm going to take the over on that.
I love that one.
bettingpros.com/leading off again. Nailed the parlay yesterday. Going to nail it again today. Okay, here you go. Ready? Get your pens and papers, your notepads, whatever the hell you got. Dodgers money line, Angels money line, Mets money line. Mets aren't going to get swept by the Nats. Okay, put those 3 things together, you get plus 196. Those are easy gimmies. All 3 of these heavy favorites should win today in these matchups. Also, again, I'm going the under on the 8.5 strikeouts. Even Betting Pros is giving that to me too. And you get even money on this one. Urias, you're getting even money on the over on his strikeouts at 5.5. And Tyler Mahle over 5.5. You're getting minus 120, but I love that one. Welsh, betting wise, what do you have on your board today?
All right. Yeah. And I had a couple I mentioned on the pod yesterday that hit that weren't on the Betting Pros tracked stuff. I'm setting myself up here. Horrific at total bases, but I'm just going to keep going at one because I do not like the strikeout numbers today. They're all juiced to hell and they're all really good. And I'm just not going to do any of it. I'm not going to even parlay a couple. So I'm going to go back to total bases. Mike Trout total bases up against Sears is plus money. So plus 105, just a little bit over. I'm going to take that. I love the Angels team total runs through the first 5 innings to score 2.5. That is minus 125. I am putting money down on that one. And then this is a big payout number. It's risky, but he has been dominant. And I'm just going to go down this because I do believe in him. Matt Strahm has been a strikeout monster.
Mm-hmm.
He's at 6.5, pays plus 155 today because I don't believe he's going to get there. But at the end of the day, there's some strikeouts to be had in Seattle. This has been Strahm's game. Looking at some splits here, I think this is playable. Might be a little bit risky, but I'm going to play it. It's plus 155 for Strahm to hit 7 strikeouts today against the Mariners. So I really like that one.
Razor's going Ohtani 13 Ks today. And that's the thing. I think everybody's looking at this going, oh, he could strike out 5 million people. It feels like it could be one of those days where he gets 7 or 8 and he's just real efficient and he's out after 6 innings and they're just dominating this game. I'm just saying, like, it feels more like that to me. And I think these are the most dangerous ones when you see a completely one-sided situation. And so far, the only one this year that I remember hitting the over on these one-sided, oh my God, this looks too good to be true, was DeGrom. Okay, he had like an 8.5 or a 9, and he got 11 that day. So far, most of the time, when you get a number that high, you play the under. I know it's Oakland. I know I'm the guy saying always troll Oakland, but I think there's a certain level where also you're putting yourself in a bad situation. By the way, I don't know how we're going to talk about this. Phil Ivey did not graduate from my high school. He just went there for a year.
Oh, then he left to go play poker?
I don't know. I don't know where he went to, but I don't know if that counts. I don't know if you have to be a graduate for this conversation, but it's a fun conversation. I like this.
Oh, I like the look at Casey's right there. Kirby Strahm at 11.5 combined strikeouts on PrizePicks. I'm very much about that one. That's a really great ad.
Where is
it's one of the last comments? Yeah.
Oh, there it is. There you go. Casey Leatherwood. Kirby Strahm 11.5 on PrizePicks. There you go. Use the promo code leading off when you put it in there, though, please. All right, let's go to a little other plug for another one of our sponsors here on the show. We like So Rare. That's right. We want you to go play SoRare.com. Look how cool that looks, Welsh. We finally got this amazing graphic here. Again, shout out to Ethan. He's incredible. Go to FantasyPros.com/collect. Sign up today. Build and manage your fantasy baseball team like a pro GM. Welsh, you've dove in.
I dove in. Yeah, definitely not.
I didn't graduate high school.
Dove in.
You dove in. Tell the people a little bit about So Rare real quick, and then we'll get to the DFS for the day.
Who left high school first, Joe or Phil Ivey? Yeah,
well,
So
Phil
Rare
Ivey's better than me. So
as you can see on the screen too, a cool thing about it is not only do you play the cards, but you own the cards. And you can see right there, just like you would if you were opening up brand new Bowman. I actually just put out an article about the new Bowman cards from Topps. You can get limited cards like rare, super rare, 1 of 1, 1 to 500, and they have extra scoring points. And you take these cards and you play them in lineups.
That's cool.
All around. And there's prizes to be had. There's huge prizes in there. And there's an open marketplace where you can buy and sell these. So
I like
go and
that.
check it out. So Rare is pretty cool and pretty fun, and it kind of encompasses all of it.
A farmer's market for baseball stuff. FantasyPros.com/collect. Go play So Rare. The next era of MLB is here. All right, let's get to some DFS today. Joey Lucchese, how you doing? 8.3 on FD. That's pretty cheap there. Tyler Molly, though, is even better at 8.8. I would do lines with both of those guys and go up for the hitters today. That's my plan. That's what I'm doing. I'm sticking with it. Baltimore, Minnesota, the stacks I like. Ryan McKenna, 2.1 at the top of that order. Brett Beatty, 2.4, and Jose Miranda, 2.5. There's your value. Home run board. Let's see if there's been any changes overnight. BHB Daddy still at the top at 11. Razor Ramon, say goodnight to the back guy. Number 11, okay? Razor Ramon. You know, it's funny. Every time I come out of my garage, go to my car, the garage goes up slowly. And I don't care. Nobody's watching me. In my head, I'm always Razor Ramon, like kind of ducking underneath the ladder. I have my arms out like he did in that match with Shawn Michaels. I just kind of walk to my car and I have a toothpick and I throw it out and I get in my car and I go pick up my kids, man. That's what I do. Razor Ramon, good for you getting up to the top of that leaderboard. Welsh, You're on the hot streak. Go pick a dinger today. What do you got?
I am dinging with Mr.
Ooh.
Mike Trout. We're getting back to the dings for Mike Trout up against JP Sears. It's like, it's a little bit dicey when you go at this age. You're like, hey, pick on the A's. And it's like, I don't know, but this is the day that I'm going to pick on the A's 100%. So I like Trout to get going with it. I like the home run call, and I'm trying to make it back-to-back days. And if Trout goes 0 for 4, I'm kind of going to be losing across the board here. So we need that Mike Trout homer. I'm hoping to get it early.
All right. Early's good. Ryan Mountcastle's where I'm going. He's already my prize pick. So again, when I invest in a player for the day, I
almost
invest.
picked him today. I
I like him.
That's a great one.
Good matchup for him there against the Detroit Tigers. They are no good at baseball. All I want now is to go make an offer for Eduardo Rodriguez as soon as the show is over in all my leagues. That's what I'm doing. I think everybody should do the same. I don't see Mares in there, but again, we got the draft today, so Mares probably working on that. Like, I'm not working on it too. I'm here. Wonky's here. You're here. Where's Mike Mayer? I don't know. Just saying, Welsh. But this has been a fun show today. We got a little bit of everything, as we are one to do. Go check out the waiver wire video dropping on the MLB channel. If you haven't already, subscribe to FantasyPros MLB. Click that little bell till it goes ding. And remember, you can always watch the show back. So if you miss it live, you can watch on YouTube. And don't forget, you can also always listen to the podcast version if you're on the run. They're all in the podcast feed. Also, the FantasyPros Fantasy Baseball podcast. Good chatter today from all of you out there, too. All the peanuts and the Cracker Jacks. And again, don't forget tonight, NFL draft. Again, you don't have to. We know you want to watch the actual NFL draft. Of course you do. But have us on another screen. Have us on the laptop. Have us on the phone. Put the AirPods in and listen to us, because we're going to be giving you the breakdowns you really care about. And we'll probably make you some money at the same time. So go check that out tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern on our regular Fantasy Pros channel. Go sub to that too, because we love you. We want you to be a part of that. Day 2, we got Debro, Thor, Bogman, Fitz all on the Discord doing day 2. That's going to be fantastic. I'm going to be running home from flag football to go check that out. Can't wait for that. Also, there's before I forget, Welsh, there's also a guy getting drafted too. This guy's going to get drafted to the Diamondbacks.
Oh,
Chris Welsh, ladies and gentlemen. With the first overall pick to the Arizona.
You got to do that when I have shaved. You keep doing it when I've got like the facial hair. I think it would be better.
Well, next time you shave, I'm going to be all over.
I'll shave this week.
Shave with a D-backs hat on. Do you have a D-backs hat? You have a D-backs hat.
Yeah, I got one right here.
Right. Put that on real quick and let's do a side.
Oh, but we're going to ruin the hair. We're going to ruin the hair.
Oh, no.
Oh, here, hold on. Look, we'll do it like this.
Do it like that?
We'll do it like this.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. There it is. There's the picture of Rico Bronia, who looks a lot like the Welsh, almost terrifyingly so, along with Welsh's face there with the hat. So, there you go. So go enjoy the draft tonight. Everybody go enjoy the baseball tonight. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Have a great day.